More than 2000 years ago, Sun Tzu, a war strategist, whose book The Art of War is still used by military, and it was repurposed for business purposes, and his concepts are used even today in all kinds of environments. So one of the most famous advice that Sun Tzu gave was about knowing your enemies. So it is said that if you know your enemies and know yourself, you will not be imperiled in 100 battles. If you do not know your enemies, but do know yourself, you will win one and lose one. If you do not know your enemies nor yourself, you will be imperiled in every single battle. So Sun Tzu believed that you needed to understand your strength, your army's strength, but you also, and weaknesses, of course. And you also had to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your enemies. And if you had these two pieces in place, then you would not be imperiled in 100 battles, meaning that you will win most of your battles. Now, what would Sun Tzu say about communication? I believe that Sun Tzu would say something like, if you understand the behavior of those around you, and you understand your own behavior, you will avoid hundreds of conflicts. If you do not understand others, but do know yourself, you will avoid some conflict and get drawn into some. If you do not understand others' behaviors nor yours, you are doomed to spend most of your life in conflict and miscommunication. And by the way, this is in the book on page 64 and 65. So, yes, of course, I put words into Sun Tzu's mouth, but it is undoubtful that if you understand yourself, if you understand why you do what you do, why you talk as you talk, then it is more likely that you have better control of your behavior and your communication. And if you understand those around you, then of course you are more accepting with everyone, because you understand why they behave and why they talk as they do. So if you have these two pieces in place, it is more likely that you are able to communicate more effectively and develop more stable relationships. And your life is much more stress-free because you are drawn into less conflict. After all, if you understand those around you and why they behave and communicate the way they do, then there's no reason to get upset with them. And sometimes, of course, things can still get out of hand, and we still can get upset about things. But there will be much less conflict and stress than if you did not understand why people around you behave as they do, or why they communicate the way they do. So understanding yourself is the most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to effective communication. And then the second part, of course, is understanding those around you. Let me ask you a question. How would it impact your life at this very moment if you could significantly improve your relationships with your coworkers, managers, subordinates, clients, parents, spouse, children, and other significant people in your life? What if there was a system that could help you better understand your behavior and the behavior of those around you, and as a result improve your personal and professional relationships? Would it be worth the effort to give that system a try? Well, the book that you purchased is about that system. It's called the DISC behavioral model, and through exploring that system you will get a good understanding of why you behave the way you do and why those around you behave as they do. Understanding different personality styles, it's almost like magic, because if you understand the 4 personality styles, then you always will know why people around you talk as they do, why they behave as they do. And instead of getting upset with people around you or frustrated, you just understand that, oh, this is a dominant style person or a conscientiousness style person, or whichever of the 4, and you understand exactly why they behave as they do. So let's jump into it. How do you recognize a style? what is your style? But there are 4 personality styles, and even though there are many systems out there with many different names, some systems use colors, some use animal names. The Myers-Briggs uses letters to identify different styles. But most systems agree that there are 4 personality styles, and we've known this ever since Hippocrates from around 400 BC, when he had identified 4 temperaments. The choleric, phlegmatic, sanguine, and melancholy. There are 2 sets of cues that we need to watch for when trying to recognize someone's personality style, be that our style or someone else's style. And they're very simple to remember and very easy to understand. There are 2 sets of clues that will give away a person's personality style, or behavioral style, as we mostly will discuss in these videos and as in my book as well. Why? Well, personality style, your personality is set. You are who you are. And your personality style is expressed through your behavior. You do not have control over your personality style. You are who you are. But you do have control over your behavior. So when we talk about behavioral style, then that implies that yes, you are a certain behavioral style, but it's flexible. Once you understand your strengths and weaknesses, then you can control, you can flex what behaviors you will apply or not apply or control. So let's jump into it. How do we recognize one's behavioral style? But first of all, people are either fast-paced or moderate-paced. And people are either task-oriented or people-oriented. So these are the 2 sets of clues that you will look for in order to recognize a person's behavioral style. If you notice that somebody moves fast, talks fast, makes quick decisions, and also is task-oriented, so it's fast-paced and task-oriented, meaning that this person likes to deal mostly with tasks, set goals, build things, so hands-on stuff, work with numbers, concepts, then this person is most likely a dominance style individual. So they're fast-paced and task-oriented. Now, dominance style individuals are characterized by fast-paced, fast rate of speech, strong desire of being in charge, and are highly focused on accomplishing goals and completing tasks. On the job, they are the ones who lead by example, while also will push everyone to perform and leave little room for personal chit-chat. They know what they want, they go for it, and they expect those around them to do the same. Dominant-style individuals are goal-oriented, process-driven, and often turn out to become real achievers. At times, due to their drive to accomplish goals and their high focus to complete the tasks they work on, they are perceived as cold, pushy, impatient, and as having little consideration for the feelings of those around them. They also try to avoid routine work and environments where they are not given the freedom to be in charge, well, at least of their own actions, and are not allowed to move at their own quiet, fast pace. So that's the dominant style. So if you recognize yourself as described here, then you probably are a dominant style. Now, if you are fast-paced and people-oriented, meaning you talk fast, move fast, make quick decisions, but you love to be around people, you love to chat, you love to socialize, so you're more people-oriented, then you are an influence style or I style. I style individuals are characterized by fast pace, both in action and speech, and a love to socialize.